Hawa, Shabbatah. Increase, increase. Peace to the tribe. We're going to relax and enjoy this. This is Prester John 30. Oh! Relax and enjoy, man. You got us here. I'm doing this for the real wave surfers. We're gonna do it Marley style. We're gonna get it back like it's the first time, man. Let's go. Feel good. Before we get deep, just enjoy the water. Vibrate and activate, man. This is part 30 in the investigation of Priest King Prester John, also known as Raja Hiraja Chola II Lebna Dangle DeWitt, or King David. Hawa, also known as the Holy Grail. Hang on, put on your rain boots. To the top, baby, to the top. Love to Dorja Daka, man, for the great vibration. And while we at it, man, much ahab to Cow, Dub Styles, Cow Styles. This is Genghis Khan, my people. This black man is Genghis Khan. You get at the very bottom of the page right there. Right there. I'm going to read it to you at the very bottom of the page, man. Prince Michael of Chernigov, a Rus. Prince was passed between fires in accordance with ancient Turco-Mongol tradition. Batu Khan stabbed him to death. See that blade right there? For his refusal to do obeisance, or obey or bow down to Genghis Khan's shrine in the pagan ritual. Oh, Genghis Khan was on that pagan stuff, huh? Listen up, my naga. It says, note that Genghis Khan is depicted as a black man. I'm not making this shit up. Note that Genghis Khan is depicted as a black man. This is a painting by Russian painter V.S. Smirnov in 1883. Can you dig it? So when we talk Mongol, we're talking Rus, we're talking Russia. The real Russians, the real Mongols were Russians. Mongols were the Russians. They try to act like Mongols invaded Russia. That's what they're trying to hide with the destroying all the paintings. They call them Russian icons. All the frescoes are being destroyed of all the melanated paintings of all the royalty. Because the so-called Mongols are being hidden. Because the so-called Mongols are you. And they're hiding all your history of the Dark Ages in this Mongol golden horde. Oh, they're hiding the Templars and they're hiding the Holy Grail. And who is Genghis Khan? He said Prester John took in black ass Genghis Khan right here. And he wanted to turn on the Khan. So when they got here, it was this black Genghis Khan and his family fighting against Wang Khan, the real Khan, Priest King, King David, Prester John. And this is a more on more battle. And one side did treaties. Now this is supposed to depict Michael de Chernigov, a Russian, but of course This is a iconoclast photo. We got a real one that had a melanated brother as Michael. So this is a newer version as a white man. See how they'll give you some drop, and then layer by layer they keep making it more white or so-called Mongol. But this is the actual 1883. And you see Genghis Khan is as it says, no, Genghis Khan is depicted as a black man. So we're talking about just the melanated family. We're just talking about the melanated family. Don't get thrown off when we talk Khans, because Genghis Khan is a black man. Let's go. Oh, man, we just surfing the wave, man. Don't mind us. We just doing what we do. Surfing the wave, man. Y'all want to surf the wave with some, You know, we got that water going for a reason. Y'all want to surf the wave with Ty Battle? Right, let's get it, man. Let's surf the wave with some Ty Battle poetry, man. I wish I had my applause button, my sister. We would be applauding all night long for you. Because Ty Battle has written a poem every day. We drop it daily. You know what I mean? Well, Monday through Friday we're live, so we drop it Monday through Friday. She makes sure she has some fresh water pouring at all times. That's why anytime you come over here, you scroll down. What do you see? You see that water right there? This is the water of Hawauda. The water pours for the Battle family. Guardians on the wall. It's special water. This is special water. And it keeps flowing. It keeps flowing. It keeps flowing with Drop Nation. Tribing up. Shabada. Wa. La. Wa. And I just said free Phineas. Y'all remember I said, man, y'all get 29. This is 30 now. I said free Phineas. Remember Phineas, man. This is the great dragon, man, that's held in captivity in Upper Manhattan, New York City right now. I mean, give me the drop, give me the drop. Phineas, the most famous dragon in captivity, Phineas. Fort Tryon Park Zoo in Upper Manhattan is home to Phineas, a 140-year-old Acadian green dragon that has lived in New York for over a century. Then it goes on to talk about the captivity of Phineas. Now, if it's true, like they say, that the dragon is connected with its dragon rider or its naga, it's, you know what I'm saying, its connection. These are your pets. They got their things. These are your things. They're in captivity right now. One is named Phineas, and it's in captivity in Tryon Park Zoo in Upper Manhattan, New York. And they actually built a new you know what I'm saying, cage or, you know, captivity surrounding for it. And I think the late 70s and the late 1970s, man. So this is recent. So the sister's going to talk Phineas, and then we going to talk Phineas. Because Phineas is absolutely relevant to our investigation of Priest King Prester John. Free Phineas. We're going to get those shirts, man. Free Phineas, man. Free Phineas from the caves of Tryon Park, where he is currently contained. Free Phineas from the grounds that are filled and tracked with noisy trains. Free Phineas from where crowded streets like Manhattan and Broadway are made. Free Phineas from the bonds of stocks that are traded and exchanged, man. Free Phineas from the concrete prison cell and cut loose the chains. Free Phineas from the belly of which he feels all his people's pain. Free Phineas. Wow. Free Phineas so the elements can breathe their fiery iced up rains. Free Phineas from captivity so the earth can restore her natural grains. Free Phineas so the chosen can wash and erase the bloody stains. Free Phineas so the Khans can enjoy their green pastures and flat plains of Wa. Free Phineas! We're just talking Phineas. We're just talking Thai battle poetry. And the sister has written a poem every day. We drop it, man. It's Thai battle poetry night every night. And the water keeps flowing, much a high tide battle. We're just talking Phineas. Now, right quick, I just pulled up right quick, man. Hold up, man. I got somebody dropping something on me. Okay. Get over there on that play. It's all good. We got the water flowing. Let's go. Fort Tryon Park is a public park located in the Hudson Heights and Inwood neighborhoods in the borough of Manhattan in New York City. Before leaving our expedition to see the Acadian green dragons in the wild, Conseil and I made a stop to see the country's most famous dragon in captivity, Phineas. Fort Tryon Park Zoo in Upper Manhattan is home to Phineas, a 140-year-old Acadian green dragon that has lived in New York for over a century. In 1857, P.T. Barnum acquired 4 Acadian green dragon hatchlings, which he placed in his Ame'rican Museum in New York. When the museum burned down in 1865, 2 of the small dragons were killed. The remaining dragons were taken on tour with Barnum for over a decade on the P.T. Barnum Grand Traveling Museum and Menagerie. In 1888, Barnum donated one of the dragons to the London Zoo, but it then quickly got sick and died. In 1889, the last dragon was donated to the New York Zoo. 1891, upon Barnum's death, and named Phineas in honor of his benefactor. So this was the last dragon. The last great dragon. I'm talking the alpha dragon. Now named after somebody, right? Named after his benefactor, they say, right? Named after somebody. Free Phineas, man. Play. Don't you play. Man. So the last dragon was donated to the New York Zoo in 1891 upon Barnum's death and named Phineas in honor of his benefactor. A beautiful Victorian dragon house was built for Phineas, and he quickly became the central attraction. By the 1960s, however, the New York Zoo, the Dragon House, so they started, everything got transferred. They started building a new containment for this particular dragon in captivity right now in New York City. This is real spill, man. No one can make this up, man. Oh, see, they trying to play me, man. That's all good. You know what we do on our reboots, man. We just talk on them right quick. Let this joint reboot itself. Sometimes it gets too much high wire. When you talk Phineas the dragon, motherfuckers go crazy. Yeah, man. Restore my tabs, man. Stop playing me, man. Stop playing me, man. Motherfuckers go crazy. Things start glitching. The matrix starts glitching when you speak Phineas. He's like, man, Drop must be going crazy. He's saying that there's a great dragon named Phineas in captivity in New York City right now. Was that so hard to believe? You believe in dinosaurs? We're just looking for Prester John. Prester is meteor. Meteor is dragon. Is it so hard to believe? We're just talking Phineas. They built a Victorian dragon house. Alright, man. So he was living in a cramped concrete pit for 70 years. All right, man. Hold on. All right, here we go. Is it so hard to believe? Remember this great drop our sister Miss D in the Copper Color Awakening dug on us about the Revolutionary War. Now it says down here the Iroquois hatched 32 dragons in New York alone. The Iroquois, Cherokee, hatched 32 dragons. Hatched 32 dragons. Hatched 32 dragons in New York City in 1808 to 1809. The Americans were rapidly building area core of their own with the aid of native tribes. So again, this is an account of the Revolutionary War. You got Black King George in 1750 something. All right, now there's a Revolutionary War with the so-called white folk they sent over here to get freedom from the black European royalty. So then they go and make treaties on the niggas that's already fighting us here. More on more war that's already taking place. And who gives them dragons? The niggas that we fighting here give them dragons. The niggas that we fighting here give them. The Nagas we fighting here give them their dragons. That's why it says it can be assumed that they got their area of support from other nations. They said it is not known how the revolutionaries countered Britain's dragons. This is the Revolutionary War. They were fighting dragons. You see burnt rocks all over the place when you start really going on these trails. You see burnt up rocks. Man, fighting dragons. How did they fight them? They got their dragons. They got their area of support from other nations. The Iroquois hatched 32 dragons. The Iroquois hatched 32 dragons. This ain't play. So we got the drop on the World Dragon Fund. Alright, the sister just, we dropping all that on you already. You got the drop on the World Dragon Fund. Templeton Investments. Templeton Dragon Fund. It ain't play. They said they built up a dragon fund to raise money to protect Phineas. In 1972, the newly formed World Dragon Fund used Phineas as their poster dragon. World Dragon Fund, Templeton Dragon Fund, currently trading on the New York Stock Exchange under TDF. You look it up. Let's go. So now you look at this Fort Tryon Park, right? Oh man, where's my water? Sister Ty got that water flowing. We had our reboot. They try to cut our water off, man, but it's all good. I said it's all good. We're just surfing the wave. We are the water. Tribing up, vibing up. And don't you play. Yeah, their stuff is going to start glitching more and more the more reality sets in. So be patient in this. I know a lot of people having tech issues, all kinds of ways, and it's hard to drop this drop. Y'all got to really appreciate the fam that's dropping drop because it's hard. Sometimes we got to re-record things multiple times. Sometimes we got to, try to upload it. Might take multiple attempts, That might take a whole day for some folk. Me included, man. These things are happening, man. So to do this, the live radio, all that again, come over here, chill out, get in the chat room. All right, 5 nights a week, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., even 3 a.m. I'm just drop over here. Come hijack free, you know what I mean? Come hijack free and just surf the wave, get in the chat room. You always get the chat room right on top, all right? And subscribe to the site so you got the passwords and all that, man. And yeah, man, so when the sister's digging on Tryon National Park, let's get our water flow. Let's go. Let go. Let's get our water flow. Here's our Georgia DACA. Let's get that back. Surfing the wave. Surfing the wave, man. With Doja Doc. 432. Let's get it all the way back. Let's bring it all the way back. We're just talking Tryon, Park Zoo, Upper Manhattan. We're just talking Prester John. This is Prester John 30. Let's go. Alright, man. Alright, man. We're gonna roll with our water. Let's go, man. These people playing us today. Let's go. We got time. Tryon Park Zoo. We're talking Phineas, and look what they got over here. Say hello to Phineas. An endangered what? So now, this is Phineas in the Tryon Park Zoo. They replaced your dragon Phineas with a rhino because they had to use the name. The name was too popular. They knew that we would look up the name. So now you got a rhino named Phineas, which is pretty much a dragon, you know, loosely speaking, dinosaur dragon. And they're replacing, this is the new image. This is the new hijack Phineas. Welcome to the new hijack Phineas. Fort Tryon Park, public park. Alright. Now check this part out. Located in Hudson Heights, Inwood neighborhood, Manhattan. 62 acres. Park situated in the ridge of Upper Manhattan on a commanding view of the Hudson River, George Washington Bridge, New Jersey Palisades. Alright. The area was known by the name Kikatsekek, something like that, by the local Lenape tribe. Remember, ODB say his family sold Manhattan. Remember that? So certain tribes sold Manhattan, literally, and was called Langburg, Long Hill, by the Dutch settlers. The park was a creation of philanthropist John D. Rockefeller Jr. Body bag. So the Rockefellers came in, got their hand on these, you know what I'm saying? Remember how they dragging? Remember this, right? So here's the nesting grounds that are so-called protected. Federal nesting grounds that they're so-called saying that they're protected, right? They said Phineas is the only great dragon alive in captivity in America. This is the Acadia National Dragon Preserve. Now it's called Acadia Federal Preserve, alright? And this is the nesting ground all through New York, right here, Upper Manhattan. Here you go. This is the area. This is where Phineas is, right here. The nesting ground of the Acadian Green Dragon, man. Free Phineas, man. This is Sir Lancelot's dragon, you know what I'm saying, quite possibly. Which means that he's still alive. If Phineas is still alive, if you know what I'm saying. But let's go. Let's not go crazy. So yeah, we got the Rockefellers, alright. Bought several of the estates beginning 1970. In order to create it, he engaged the Alsman Brothers firm formed by the Sons. Alright, so then all this adds up now to the what? Templeton Dragon Fund. Templeton Dragon Fund shareholders proposal, no action letter. You got the job. Click the links below. Let's go. Here's the hijack Phineas, the rhino that you'll see today. Alright, this is the Fort Tryon National Park. Upper Manhattan Cloisters Museum and Park were created by the endowment grant industrialist philanthropist John Rockefeller. He brought several hundred acres of the Palisades on the other side of the Hudson River to preserve the view, or to preserve the nesting ground, or keep it in check. They're just buying up the land so that you don't find it. Oh man, freezing me out, man. Oh, they trying to jam us up, man. They trying to jam up, man. I'm gonna do my own reboot. So let's keep talking, man. Reboot. Let's keep talking. Let's talk for a minute. Calm down. Let's slow it all the way down. I take these as opportunities to talk on you. All they doing is creating, you know what I'm saying, their own containment so that you don't find the drop. So that you don't find it. So that they can say it's a federal preserve. And when they do that, automatically you're triggered to be like, hey, I'm going to stay away from this place. Oh, I need to get a ticket to get there. Oh, man, I need to save up for that. That sounds like a family vacation or something. I mean, when they say federal preserve, that don't really sound like something you want to see unless you really are searching. But you niggas ain't searching, right? We're too busy in the entertainment industry. Trying to entertain for $1 like a circus. Our armies are entertaining on the football field or entertaining on the basketball court. The gladiator arena is continuing and continuing. Where's our army? Every Sunday you see our army playing on the field. Where's our army? You see them. They're being paid millions of dollars. Not to protect you. But it's a beautiful thing now. Right now we're starting to see the vibe, spread throughout the entertainment business, like the Waka Flocka interview, or you got Colin Kaepernick and some other folks, that are, maybe a little more so-called conscious. They're coming out of it. They're breaking the spell. All right, man. So you got it. Let's get the drive, man. Let's go. I got to get my water back. Gotta get our tie battle water back, man. Because we ain't gonna let them cut our water off. That's the whole point right now, man. Just keep the water going, keep the water flowing. Wow. So right now, the wake-up season is happening all around us. We're seeing like little spurts pop up here and there, man, this and that. We're trying to be patient with each other. We're trying not to trip. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone got all the drop. Kendrick Lamar might say, I ain't black no more. Don't call me a color no more. That ain't facts no more. You know what I mean? That might wake a few people up in the entertainment business. Maybe not. I'm an Israelite. He might say that literally on the record. And folks would still be asleep. Maybe it's a psyop. So what's the next step? Free Phineas. How important is Phineas? How important are your weapons when you look at, man, what's going to happen, man? How am I going to do this? What if I go here? What if I do that? You know what I'm saying? How important is Phineas, man, in real time? Where's my homie at? I'll wait for our water. Yeah, they over here on hijack mode for real. There we go. We just gotta be patient, man. Y'all see me going through it with y'all, so don't think y'all the only ones that be going through, all this tech, frequency, hijackisms, This happens in real time. There we go. And again, you see the whole Prester John series, man. Hey, man, maybe this was just a good opportunity to remind you that the entire Prester John series is right here archived for you in a playlist. I don't normally do playlists, man, so definitely dig on it. Go back. You can get all the drop. You know what I'm saying? You can scroll this drop, get all the drop from 1 all the way to 28. All right. Oh. Aha, my sister Larissa rocking the hoodie, man. Rocking the drop. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We back. Got our water flowing again. So, all right, man. So, yeah. We got the, we got this Tryon Park, man. You got the link, man. It's crazy. So, Rockefeller bought all this stuff up. You dig on it. Let's go. Oh, yeah, man. CJ Battle dropped that track. We drop it all the time live, man. Love of my life. It's a beautiful drop, man. Go get that. We got some great book drop happening right here. Miss D, the Copper Color Awakening, actually dropped me all this, man. So much a hi to Miss D. Chris Battle got a wonderful drop he just put up. Emailed me. The Battle family is now exploring Negro Bill Trail, man. So the Battle family is on the move at all times. That's why we got the moving water, that drop poetry, these drop links, man, that just keep flowing, man. We will get some Meteor drop when we get out of here, man. So remember last part we were digging on this, you know, this King David, spring 1221, the report was circulating among the victors that in the east, King David, either the son or nephew of the presbyter, but then they said in the occurrence of 1222, and many expected that King David let me go back. All right, son, he had placed himself at the head of 3 powerful armies that was moving upon the Mohammedan country. So, all right. So then you got this King David popping up. The King David is no other than the Mongolian conqueror Genghis Khan. And now you think that's somebody look like a modern day Chinese person or something like that. And all you need to know is that in 1883, man, we gotta get that drop again. Where my Khan at? My Batu Khan. Let me pull it up right here. Repetition breaks the spell. My download. Let's go. So you got that in the top, but I just want to show you again, just so we can see it again together. This is a painting, a fresco in Russia, of Black Genghis Khan. Get it down for you. There we go. As close as I can get it. So you can see this ain't no play. So you can see this ain't no play. Alright. So when you hear Genghis Khan, you're talking to melanated family. You're not talking about what they're giving you in modern day images and depictions and all that other stuff. Let's go. So King David, none other than Genghis Khan. But of course, this is after the Khan invasion. This is after Genghis Khan already had invaded. This is after melanated brother invaded their melanated brother and took the Khan. So now he's taken the title of King David, and that's what we're picking up on. Genghis Khan is now doing what? King David is no other than Genghis Khan. Alright. And we had to dig on that manual, this manual of the Byzantine, because this is a big piece right here. They had risen up against their own ruler, King David, murdering both him and his father. The horrible slaughter committed by the Mongols soon proved that there were no pious pilgrims bound for the Holy Scepter. Oh, the Mongols got something to do with the Holy Scepter? We'll get into this Grail business. Still less they were Christians. Well, of course, we know they're talking Nestorian, and when they talk Nestorian, we know they're talking what? Old King. Old King renowned for wise counsel. Old King renowned for wisdom. No doubt. Where we at? So all this stuff's going on in the 1200s. What do you mean King David is in the 1200s? What do you mean King David's popping up in the 1200s? Marco Polo speaks of the country called Abbasia as part of India, probably Abyssinia. We're talking Negus. The Negus designated the Negus as Prester John. Now this priest king, your King David. go. With this fountain of youth saying he's 562 years old. This David, who got hijacked by his own family. And then he took the David. He took the Khan. When they got here, we're fighting amongst each other. Then come the treaties. These Davids. Exarch David, the sixth Soslan of Babylon and Georgia. Get the job. We must have dropped this in maybe part 10. Exarch David, Soslan of Babylon, son of Raja Hiraja Chola II, Jadaron, Empire of Soli, Prester John. What? So there's a David that is the son of Prester John? 1300s? Well, it's all lining up now when we click this Raja Hiraja Chola II. It's all lining up now, huh? Wow. Raja Hiraja Chola II, Jadaron, Emperor of Soli, Prester John. And that's going to bring us, possibly next time into this Pandian Empire. This Pandian Empire. Father of Solomon I, Jewish or Israelite king of Telmas, Hanas, Hawa, king of Tahama, and Exarch, king David the sixth, Soslan of Babylon and Georgia. Oh man, they on their job. We're gonna keep it flowing. This is the fourth time they froze us out. They don't like nothing we're talking about. Why, man? That's what you gotta figure out. Why you're not hearing this nowhere else? Why you're not getting this connection? What is going on with this connection? Why do they keep disconnecting you? Why do they keep disconnecting us? We're going to get through it, though. We just going to keep it rolling. If we do this 5, 10 times, it don't matter because our water keeps flowing. You are the water. So what's going on with this Raja Hiraja Chola II, Pandian, who's the father of Solomon I? Alright. Now we're going to connect it, man. Matter of fact, that reminds me because I want to actually get this drop from the Anatoly Fomenko, because some folks might not be connecting their timelines. It might be like King David is supposed to be in the BCs or something, you know what I mean, or something crazy. It don't make sense to be digging on no Raja Hiraja the Chola II, Jadaron, Prester John. What's the Pandian? Who's Raja Hiraja? I mean, they don't even got no image for it, but we're just talking about something going down. I mean, this is, this stuff is well covered up here, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? Husband of Lady Hannah of Babylon, father of Solomon I, Hebrew king of Telmas, Hanan. This is Jewish king of Tahama. Interesting, huh? Exarchs are your kings or chiefs, during this, especially this Babylonian captivity. Now let's get this right here, man. If they freeze us out, guess what? We're going to come back again, man. It's perfect timing because I want to get back on this. For the main goal. Because we need all this, man. We need orientation. We need the indigenous truth. We need to comprehend frequency. We need to comprehend energy and energy grids, so then we can function around this dragon business, because then we understand they are your guardians. When you hear guardian, angel, or this and this and this, who else has wings flying around protecting you, protecting your energy? Pause it right here. I want to get it from a certain spot, man. We got to surf the wave and get the skinny right now, man. Let's see where I want it. I pass it already. Y'all know what I want, man. That part they started dropping all the books off, showing you how they just dropped you off in the timelines, like right in your face. I think it's about right here. I'm just going to belly flop. Let's belly flop, man. Let's belly flop. Flamenco! Alright. Turn it up. So this map contains tens of thousands of names, several thousand dates, informations about a disturbance, the main books of the original sources. This is Anatoly Flamenco. He's a chronographer in Russia. So he's taking these sources in Russia with the astronomical events and putting them back together and picking out which are the phantoms and duplicates and which your actual history. We're just talking about his story. And these historians in the Middle Ages or medieval times or Dark Ages, they really jammed us up. He's unraveling that in real time. This is the Minority Report. Let's go.
Десятки тысяч имен, много тысяч дат, информации о смутах, о главных книгах, о первоисточниках, о летописях, об их датировках, об авторах летописей, о хронистах, об астрономах и тому подобное. Потом, к этому материалу были применены...
So then this material was evaluated using techniques developed by me and my colleagues. Let's go.
Разработанные мною и моими коллегами методики, о которых я говорил вкратце. И я отметил на этом...
And I noted on this map there were duplicates, that is, periods that were shown to be similar by these methods.
На карте дубликаты, то есть те эпохи, которые оказывались по этим методикам близкими, похожими, зависимыми.
Как это было сделано?
How is this done? Anatoly Flamenco divided the history of the world at certain points. Then every era's detail was displayed on the time axis.
Анатолий Фоменко разделил всю мировую историю на эпохи. Затем каждую эпоху подробно отобразил на оси времени. События, которые
periods which had similarities were moved to be simultaneous on the time scale.
происходили одновременно в разных государствах.
A lot of work. Let's go. This ain't no play.
Чтобы показать, сколько в традиционной
To show how much overlap there is in the traditional chronology of the historical events, Flamenco assigned each time interval a letter.
истории существует повторов исторических событий, разным временным интервалом Фоменко присвоил разные буквы. Например, эпоха...
For example, the Second Roman Empire was marked by the letter K. The same letter was used to mark its duplicate Flamenco had discovered. Duplicates.
была обозначена буквой К. Этой же буквы были отмечены все ее дубликаты, которые
Duplicates, man.
обнаружил с помощью своих методов.
In other historical periods, as well as the duplicates, were identified by other letters. For example, C and P also marked on the map. So you're marking the duplicates, man. The duplicates. Duplicates. Keep that in your mind.
Были обозначены другими буквами, например, S и P, и также были отмечены на карте.
So a structure emerges that shows both the time axis and repetitions on historical events. This map was named Global Chronological Map.
Возникла структура, которая показывала, как на оси времени расположены повторы исторических событий. Эта карта получила название глобальной хронологической карты. Именно она показывает...
That is, it shows what should be the true chronology of historical events. It became apparent that in the traditional chronology there are three major time shifts. Listen up, my naga, my negoosh. It became apparent that in the traditional chronology there are three major time shifts. This is what they've done to you. They take your King David and they're going to put him back in the past. They're going to take your Joshua and throw him back 300, 1,000, and 1,800 years and call them different names and different titles in different places. To confuse you. Yes, they will do that. Yes, these are sorcerers, people. So you'll dig on Prester John in the 1500s, you'll dig on Prester John in the 1100s, you'll dig on Prester John in the 700s. He took 6 baths in the Fountain of Youth. He says he's 562 by the year 1165. Don't think I'm crazy. They made me crazy.
В традиционной истории существуют 3 основных временных сдвига. Примерно на 300, 1000 и 1800 лет.
But where's the real King David? Where's the real priest king? It must have happened recently, and they threw it back 1,800 years. Where's the real who you call Christ? Who you call Jesus, Joshua? Where's the real Joshua? It must have happened more recently, and they threw him back in time. A lot of real historical events of the Middle Ages were copied on paper by medieval chroniclers and sent into the past. Body bag, Daniel.
Исторические события Средневековья были на бумаге размножены средневековыми хронистами и отправлены в прошлое.
Let go. How could this happen if the chroniclers of the Middle Ages made unintentional mistakes? Did they do it on accident, people? Take the 4 ancient chronicles. They all describe the same events that occurred, for example, in Europe in the 1400s. Uh-oh. But the authors of these chronicles were living not only in different countries, but even at different times. They spoke and wrote in different languages and used a different calendar, a different time.
Жили не только в разных странах, но даже в разное время. Они говорили и писали на разных языках, использовали разные летоисчисления.
Not surprisingly, in telling of the same king. Got it? Who is Prester John? Where's your priest king? Where's King David in your timeline? It's all I'm trying to find. It's all Drop Nation is digging on. Where's Moshe? Where is Moshe? Where's Mossack? Where's the foundational legend in your actual reality? Not 70 AD, some Titus Vespasian. What does Titus Vespasian have to do with, I don't know, America's Vespasius? What does Titus Vespasius Flavius have to do with America's Flavius Vespasius? Oh, America's named after Amerigo, America's Vespasius, Vesputus. Come on, man. Same thing. Same invasion. The Roman invasion you think happened in 70 AD just happened with these black-ass Romans, with black-ass King James and them, black-ass King George and them. The shit just happened. Those are the real Romans. The black-ass Romans. They just invaded the Hebrews here. You're reading about your invasion that just happened, but you think it happened in 70 AD. They got you totally fucked up. You just got invaded, fool. Look at the Papal Bull. Not surprisingly, in telling of the same king, city, or battle, they gave them totally different names. Who's Raja Hiraja Chola II? Who's David Soslan? Who's Lebna Dangle DeWeet? Who's Alexander? Who's Arthur? Who's Arthur of Camelot? Who's King David?
Что рассказывая об одном и том же короле, городе или сражении, они давали им совершенно разные названия. Поэтому, когда хронисты 16-17...
Therefore, when chroniclers in the 1500s and 1600s read these records, they decided that they were talking about 4 different eras. Very different eras. Very different eras.
Они решили, что речь идет о 4 совершенно разных эпохах. И вместо того, чтобы поместить
And instead of putting these accounts simultaneously on the same time axis, just like they did the Egyptian Nusuts, instead of saying, okay, they're all the same, this is happening at the same time, they arranged them in sequence, stretching it out. That is, one after another. Watch this shit. Watch this shit.
Они расположили их последовательно, то есть друг за другом. Одну летопись они оставили в 15.
Here's King David. Let's drop him off right here. Prester John right there. Let's drop King David right here. Let's drop King David way the fuck back here in the BCs. Let's put King David in the BCs. Same king. Only with the help of mathematical statistics can we have a truly objective analysis of old texts. Without them, unfortunately, it is impossible. It is impossible. It is impossible to construct a chronology what these people have done with their sorcery. It's always saying, who is Prester John? Who is King David? Who is Raja Chola II, Emperor of Soli? Oh, it's Prester John, father of Solomon I, the Israelite king of Telmas. What is Pan? What is Pandian? Who are the Cholas? Have we dug on it yet? Let's go. We're only talking about the Holy Grail. What do we mean? We're talking about the Grail stone. Clearly the foundation stone of the world is the same as the black or the hidden sun in the center of the earth. All right, let's see. Or the Grail stone. Let's dodge a hijack and get to the drop. You got the drop. You pull up the link. Let's go. Which is said to be hidden in that location. The Grail romances provide us. Make sure you can see as much as you can. I know it's small, but you pull it up, man. This is from the biblio.playdees.net. Alright, we're digging on the Grail. We're digging on the Grail. Remember, Melchizedek is thus both king and priest. Priest king. So Melchizedek is priest king. Who is Prester John? Every time Melchizedek ran into someone, he blessed them with a priesthood. He blessed Abraham with a priesthood. Who is Prester John? Clearly the foundation stone of the world. All right, Grail stone. Grail romances provide us with much insight into the king of the world concept. He is represented in the story by one of the supporting characters, Prester John. What does Prester John got to do with this Grail? A king who is mentioned in passing as ruling over a spiritual domain in the faraway east. Where are you? You think you're in the west in America? You're in the east. You're in the far east. The furthest India, east, the Orient. And who, quite fittingly, is said to come from what? Davidic descent. Prester John, the king, we're talking priest king, Melchizedek, king of the world, emperor of the Abyssinians, emperor of the Indias, the three Indias, Prester John, a king, mentioned in passing as ruling over a spiritual domain in the faraway east, and who quite fittingly is said to come from Davidic descent. Davidic descent. David. Evola continues. The Tractatus Pulcherimus. Is this play? You dig on it. Tractatus Pulcherimus. Referred to him as King of Kings. Rex Regnum. He's the king of the world. Why are we looking for priest king? Because he's your last noble image. Man, hold up, man. This is... The fact that you think this is play in 2017 to look for your king. You think it's play in 2017 to know where's your king. Because there's a new image, right? I mean, you don't have an image no more. Where's your noble image? Point to it. Point to your noble image, Negro. Well, you know, What did Ronald Sanders say in The Lost Tribes of Promised Land? With that legend for the time being, all hope of a noble image of the Negro. With that legend went for the time being all hope of a noble image of the Negro to counter the one that was coming with growing force out of West Africa. Now there's a new image of a savage for you, but before that you had a regal image. You had a priest king image. Now there's a new image. With that legend went for the time being all hope of a noble image of the Negro. Noble image of the Negro, huh? Tractorus Pulcherimus referred to him as King of Kings. Reg Regnum, he combined spiritual authority with regal power. Yet essentially Prester John is only a title and name. We know that, right? It's a title. Where did they drop your title off in the timeline? Anatoly Fomenko just told you that. Which designates not a given individual, but rather a function. What's the function of a priest king? A messenger, a Mashiach. Thus in Wolfen von Eschenbach, we got some of that. We got it up, click the link below. There's a great doc, man. A book by Wolfram von Eschenbach. In the tutorial, we find Prester John as a title, The Grail. Whoa, so Indiana Jones and the search for the Holy Grail wasn't about finding a cup. Remember, it's about if I drink from it, I get the fountain of youth in a cup. It was about finding Prester John. Remember the monument that's in South Africa right now for the Portuguese seafarers, the sailors that were looking for Prester John from 1165 to 1665, 500 years. They were looking for Prester John from 1100s to the 1600s. And you don't care about your priest king, the last noble image of the Naga, the Negro in America, the copper color Ame'rican. Your Khan got stolen. Your Khan got stolen. Your Khan got stolen. Now, who's calling themselves Americans? Who's the Ame'rican? Who's the Holy Grail? Prester John as a title, the Grail, as we see, indicates from time to time. Listen up, my Negro. As we will see, indicates from time to time the person who must become Prester John. Where is Prester John? Prester John as a title, the Holy Grail. As we will see, indicates from time to time the person who must become Prester John. Prester John is a function. It's not just one, here's the man, it's an energy, it's a wave. You're surfing the wave right now. You're surfing the wave of the function of the priest king. Moreover, in the legend, Prester John designates one who keeps in check, one who checks, one who keeps in check the people of Gog and Magog, the heathen, who exercise a visible and invisible dominion. Figuratively, dominion over both natural and invisible beings. What did Solomon's ring do? And who defends the access of his kingdom with lions and giants. And they have it in quotation marks because they really mean dragons, man. Phineas, man. Free Phineas, man. Right now in the Tryon Park Zoo, man. I can't make this shit up. I'm just reading about the Holy Grail. This is another book called Quest of the Dragon in Bird Clan by Paul Kakai Menasseh, something like that. It's talking about Prester John. A few centuries after the introduction of the Kakakra into Tibet, possibly by the Shambhala king himself, Prester John. Now you dig on the Shambhala legend, it talks about some redeemer at the end. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably get some of that. The Shambhala myth. It's about some redeemer raising the vibration of the people. We're going to get some of that, man. So a few centuries after let's get this bigger. A few centuries after the introduction of the Kakakra into Tibet, possibly by the Shambhala king himself, Prester John sends messengers to the emperors and Pope. Remember the letter? And at this time, the situation of European Christendom was grave. The expanding Seljuk Turks had administered a crushing defeat to the Byzantine Empire and had even captured Emperor Diogenes in 1091, who was released in an act of magnanimity. In 1144 to 1187, one crusader stayed after the next fell until Jerusalem, which had been recaptured by the Crusaders, fell in 1187. So they're telling you Jerusalem fell in 1187. They told you Prester John got wrote up on in 1203. Put it together. Prester John's appearance at this time may have been designated to create hope. The last noble image of the Negro was designated to create hope. Since that king promised to bring relief to the Christian kings by invading from the east. But did he do it? Did he help these hijacks out? He claimed to have been Christian. He claimed. And maybe he was in a syncretic way. So they're telling you he wasn't no Christian because they're saying maybe he was in a syncretic way. Remember syncretic? If something is syncretin or syncretinism is pulling shit from different places to put it to, like Christianity is just the one big melting pot of all this pagan shit. That's syncretin. So they're saying, or maybe he was in a way of pulling random shit together. Maybe he was a Christian. They're reversing it, right? Of thinking, however, Sanfasti Sabag and it's had his hands full taking care of things in its own region and was in no position to offer any real assistance. However, sometimes hope is all that is needed to continue the struggle. In the end, help did come in the form of a great Mongol Wan Khan eruption from Central Asia. So now this eruption of these cats whooping up on these Turks helped them out. Prester John appears to have created something else designated to psychologically spur the Christian warriors into action. So now they're looking for this alliance. They're hoping to get alliance to help them against the Moors and against Islam at that time that was whooping their ass. In the romantic literature that arose after the letters of the Eastern King, we hear of the relic known as the Holy Grail. Here comes this Holy Grail. Whatever the Holy Grail was, the literature gives divergent views. It was located somewhere in the farthest Indies. The farthest Indies. Remember, we got out the lost tribes of promised lands. You're in the farthest India. In the Garden of Eden. If the Garden of Eden was not enough, surely the Holy Grail would lure the brave soul past Saracen armies to the mysterious east. Who are they calling the Saracens? A Saracen head. They're calling the copper color races Saracens. Now some of these are rocking with the Sultan and some are not. Some of these are Templars and some of these are who Prester John was calling treacherous Templars. This is another book called The Holy Grail, Imagination and Belief by Richard W. Barber. All right. I mean, we just digging on it, man. Don't mind us. Shit. Wait, let me get something off of here first. Yeah. All right. So in order to make Prester John more palatable to European audiences, he makes the king none other than the nephew of Parzival. So this Parzival. Alright, so we're saying if the Garden of Eden was not enough, surely the Holy Grail could lure the brave soul. So they needed this Holy Grail. They needed this Prester John to encourage them in their fight against Islam. Now, of course, they're calling Saracens. Remember, it says down here the Saracen was used early century Roman Empire describing Arab tribes. So we're just talking about Islam, but they're labeling everyone Saracens that's melanated in these particular, docs. Although they're looking for the lost tribes of Israel identity, the red thread, the surnames, right? So we got that before. So this is how they try to confuse you. They throw Saracen, or they'll throw more, but you know, more means great. So, you know, Saracens don't even really mean Islam by definition. You're just talking about Sarah's sons. Who's Sarah Cali? Who's Sarah the Black? All right. So you're talking about the definition, the realness of it, but then they're starting to apply it to the Arab, to the Islam. All right. But what came first? So when we're digging on this, these knights were known as Templars according to von Eschenbach. We're talking about the Templar, man. They're protecting the Grail. Who's the Grail? It's somewhere in the furthest Indies. Where are you, Naga? You're in the furthest Indies. So past the Saracen armies to the mysterious East. You're in the mysterious East. You're in all of what they're talking about. So then they got this drop called von Eschenbach in the early 13th century first suggested that Totoro, the grandfather of Parzival, had brought the Grail back from somewhere near the Ganges. Remember, the Ganges is one of the rivers that flows out of Mount Roraima, where the Orinoco River is. This is South America, people. And founded an order of knights to guard the relic. Ganges. You see that, right? We just surfing the wave, man. We enjoying this, man. Prester John 30. We enjoying this, man. So, again, Wolfram first suggested that Totoro, the grandfather of Parzival, had brought the Grail back from somewhere near the Ganges. Alright. In order to make Prester John more palatable to European audience, he makes the king none other than the nephew of Parzival. And now, click the link below, because I dropped the whole drop. Found this link. I will be putting it up in our drop library soon. This is Parzival. And you know, maybe in the future part we'll start reading this. Parzival, a knightly epic by Wolfram von Eschenbach, translated by Jesse Webster, 1912. So what's so special about this Parzival? Again, click the link below and you got it. Click the link below and you got it. In order to make Prester John more palatable to European audience, he makes the king none other than the nephew of Parzival. So in this Wolfram von Eschenbach drop that we got, first suggested that Totoro, the grandfather of Parzival, had brought the Grail back from somewhere near the Ganges. We're just talking the Templeton Dragon fun. Oh man, where's my Warrama drop, man? Oh yeah. Ganges. And that's the Guyana. Where we at? Here we go. Just be belly flopping in these things. All right. The Piedmont Indians of the Grand Sabana. Alright, see this Mount Roraima as a stump of a mighty tree that once held the fruits and tuberous vegetables of the world. So we're just talking this flat-top mountain, alright, said to be the source of the Guyana, Amazon, and Orinoco. You know what I mean? See all these waterfalls coming out of it. So there's this mystery. This is a mysterious East we're talking about, man. So you got the Parzival drop. So apparently there's some Prester John drop, and it's dropping the same way other romances sought to Europeanize Prester John. And Giungere Totoro, Parzival becomes the spiritual son of Prester John and assumes his name and throne. In the Dutch Lancelot, Prester John is the son of Parzival. In the Dutch Lancelot, Prester John is the son of Parzival. And now Phineas, there's a cartoon called Phineas, and he's the dragon of Fancelot, which is Lancelot. So is this Lancelot's dragon? That's an honest damn question. That's an honest damn question. So now in this book, The Holy Grail, Imagination and Belief, we got right here, Parzival and Tutorial set out with the Grail to find a new home for it. Let's get it bigger. They travel far afield and eventually come to Marseilles. Guided by the Grail in their wanderings, they embark and voyage to India, the Indies, America, where the legendary Prester John rules. He is both priest and king. I can't make this shit up. How many sources do we got to corroborate your last noble image? Priest and king. 562 years old by the time he writes a letter in 1100s. Priest and king. King David. Let's keep going. He is priest and king. Prester John rules India, Indies, priest and king, and his empire, which embraces the whole of Asia. Alright, remember where we at? Is a fitting resting place for the holy vessel. His palace stands near the earthly paradise, Garden of Eden, and is even richer than the Grail Temple. Much of this drawn from travelers' tales and from tales about Prester John. A great what? Christian? Oh, Nestorian. Come on, emperor in the East, who would ally himself with Western crusaders and retake Jerusalem. Alright, they wish. They were looking for the ally. But what you need to know is that he has Jerusalem, that he controls Jerusalem. It is to Prester John that Tutorial recounts the story of the Grail. When he is finished, he begs that it should be concealed from him so that he may die. This comes to pass, and he is buried in a splendid tomb. Thenceforward, the Grail no longer provides food, and the names that appear on it are those of sinners who are to be punished. All right, man. So this Tutorial Parzival drop is huge, and the Grail is important because remember what we're talking about. Remember what the drop said right here. Essentially, Prester John is a title and name, alright? Prester John is a title. The Grail, the Holy Grail indicates from time to time the person who must become Prester John. The function. Moreover, in legend, Prester John designates one who keeps in check the hijack, Gog and Magog, and all the other hijacks, who exercise a visibility or visible and invisible dominion, figuratively dominion over the natural and invisible beings, and who defends the access of the kingdom with lions and giants and dragons. In this kingdom is also found the fountain of youth. I can't make this shit up. I can't make it up. We just surfing the wave together. In his kingdom is found the fountain of youth. The dignity of a sacred king is often accompanied by biblical reminiscences by presenting Prester John as the son or nephew of King David, and sometimes as King David himself. By presenting Prester John as the son or nephew of King David, or sometimes King David himself. David, king of the Hindus, we're talking the Indias, who is called by the people Prester John. The king, Prester John, descends from the son of King David. So you're talking about Solomon. All of them are Johns. All of them are kings, King Davids. All of them are Davids, all right? So we dodge the hijack. We get the babies out of these drops, you know what I'm saying? And put it together. We put it together. So in the same way, other romances sought to Europeanize Prester John. So you're going to get a lot of white versions of him. Iconoclast, right? But you know he's the last noble image of the Negro. David. Let's go. So it all plays during the Revolutionary War. They're looking for Prester John up into the 1600s. Dragons are being borrowed to fight in these dragon wars. Americans were rapidly building aerial corps. Americans were breeding dragons at a frantic pace. 1808 to 1809, the Iroquois hatched 32 dragons in New York alone. The Chumash Native Americans, Ame'ricans, Khans, in California were also known to have dragons capable of flying across the Rocky Mountains. Phineas is in captivity, and you think this is play. Okay. Well, you got the Parzival drop, and you know what I'm saying, we'll be able to dig on that a little further later, man. The funny thing is that this Phineas is a Draco Rexus. He's being held captive, and he's a Draco Rexus. And what do you have in the Children's Museum? The Draco Rexus skeletal reconstruction. Draco Rexus, they call him a hog warshia. This is not play. Draco Rexus, you see it down here. Make sure you can see it. Got that Draco Rexus hog warship. Alright, got that. Alright, man. Hog warship, man. like Harry Potter. So you're talking wizardry, witchcraft, all that stuff right here. They trying to talk all that stuff on you. That's all good. Y'all gonna freeze me again? It's all good, man. We surfing the wave. We got a lot to talk about. We going quick. We're going to do our dismount on these meteors. If you were surfing the wave, man, you got the drop live. You know what I'm saying? We, been talking meteors, man. You know, just put it up in the 1828 Webster Dictionary, all that. He said meteors, it's just a flying body. We don't really know what it is. Some fiery thing. You look at dragons in the 1828 dictionary, it says meteors. You look up Prester, like Prester John. In the 1828 Webster Dictionary, what do you get? Again, meteors. What are meteors? What are all these meteor tracking sites doing? What are they really tracking in these meteor tracking sites? Oh man, we hijack free around here. What are they tracking? They're tracking the Draco Rexes. You tracking the Draco Rex's skeletal reconstruction. This is in the Children's Museum, people. The Draco Rexes. Man, much ahab again to the fam. Eye of a dragon, man. Homicide 540, man. Been surfing away with us, man, on a nightly basis in the chat room. Chat room's been dropping major work, man. Man, maybe we'll pop in the chat room before we get out of here, man. So it says right here, the truth is that the fathers of modern paleontology use the term dinosaur and dragon interchangeably. This is a great link. Please dig on it, man. Eye of a dragon, much ahab. Dinosaur and dragon interchangeably. So, you know, it's very interesting that there's a Draco Rexus, Akkadian dragon in captivity. This is just one of 1,000 different species. And there's also a Draco Rex in the California Museum. Okay. And dinosaurs and dragons used interchangeably. Let's get to these meteors, man. Let's go. Let's go. Ain't no time for play. Aha. Prester John 30, we hijack free. Must be something to this one, man. They ain't never worked this hard. To slow us down. But every time, it just brings us back into our flow. So what's going on with these meteors, you say? Drop? What you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean about this meteor business? Oh, you forgot? We forget so soon. I'm just talking about the American, man. I'm not going crazy. When I talk meteor, I'm talking American. I'm talking the Khan, right? When I talk Prester, I'm talking a meteor. When I talk dragon, I'm talking a shooting meteor. What is Prester John? Who is Prester John? And who are you? Because according to this, a dragon is just a fierce, violent person, male or female. Because this man or woman is a dragon. This man or woman is a dragon. A fierce, violent person. I guess that means that you don't accept their invasion very well. It might make you fierce and violent. It might turn you into a meteor. So when they're tracking all these so-called meteors in the sky, Meteor Beliefs Project, dragons as meteors or comets in Russian folklore beliefs. I dropped this on the site under drop links. Dig on it. Elizabeth A. Warner wrote this article. An investigation is presented into the connections in Russian folklore beliefs between meteors and comets, which are not always clearly distinguished from meteors in such beliefs and dragons. The datable surviving text span from the early 11th century in modern terms, although most of the material was recorded from the 11th century onwards. You're back in that 11th century, people. I began to investigate the relationship between dragons and meteors in Russian folklore in response to an inquiry from Alistair Macbeth. The following is not intended as a research article, and its content is limited to sources in my personal library. All right, disclaimer. My first reaction to the question, do the Russians traditionally equate meteors with dragons, was that, according to my recollection, they definitely did. Later, I realized that I had no clear idea what a meteor was. Well, shit. You ain't the only one. When you put in meteor, even in 1828, all they tell you was a general sense, a body that flies or floats in the air. A fiery, luminous body, flying or floating. A fiery, luminous body, flying or floating. Okay. So I realized I had no clear idea what a meteor was. After reading through the available material, I came to the conclusion that Russian folklore sources are equally confused. So the 1828 sources are equally confused. Lack of a precise definition of the term meteor before the 20th century is clear from Russian dictionary entries. So is it in the Noah Webster dictionary. Lack of a precise definition. General sense, a body that flies or floats in the air. Got it. So what are they saying in the Russian dictionary? Stravinsky Dictionary of Old Russian, which covers uses in the medieval period. Oh, that's a big point. Medieval. Well, here we go. And no entries for meteor or comet. So this dictionary had no entries for a meteor or comet and such, but does have one for a star with a tail. Not a comet, not a meteor, but a star with a tail, which is defined as a comet or a meteor. Star with a tail. One of the most authoritative dictionaries in the 19th century contains the general definition of meteor as any atmospheric phenomenon. It could be aqueous. How do you get an aqueous meteor? Igneous. Oh, that's the fire. Aerial or luminous. So meteors could be aqueous, in the water. Under igneous meteors, dimensions, thunderstorms, fiery pillars, balls, stones. The definition of a comet, a heavenly body which in comparison to others is a huge mass. Seem to have a nucleus while surrounding area forms something. Listen up, my naga. This is very important. Alright, so it may seem to have a nucleus. We're just talking a meteor or star with a tail, while the surrounding area forms something like a tail, beard, or tangled locks. I can't make this up to you. You got to get this link. It's only 4 pages. Read it. While the surrounding area forms something like a tail, beard, or tangled locks. Now, why would they be using locks to describe a meteor? Why would they be using tangled locks and a beard to describe a meteor? a body that flies or floats in the air. We just had before that. Dragon. A violent person, male or female, as this man or woman is a dragon. A meteor, a dragon, a meteor, a dragon. A fierce, violent person, male or female. Male or female, a person, male or female, person, male or female. This man or woman is a dragon, because they're fierce and violent to us. Meteor. Something like a tail, beard, or tangled locks. We know we're talking hair because we're talking beard, and we're talking tangled locks, man. A star with a tail, man. This term star with a tail is also referred under the entry star, in addition to linguistic enters, had a king, collector of folklore, and illustrates many of the definitions with folk beliefs and sayings. Thus, the shooting star is linked with the belief that a young girl could determine her future husband, where her future husband lived, by watching the direction taken by a star at Christmas. All right, so here's their hijack. So they're making shooting stars, right? They're wishing on a genie. They're wishing on a jinn. They're wishing on a dragon. They're wishing on a genie. They're wishing on a star. They're wishing on a jinn. They're wishing on a dragon. Every time they see a dragon, they say, make a wish. There's a dragon, make a wish. There's a dragon, make a wish. But this dragon has a beard and tangled locks. This dragon is a violent person, male or female. This man or woman is a dragon. We're just talking meteors. You get the rest of this because it even goes deeper than that. When it deals with a star with a tail, dragons as meteors, man. We might have enough time to make a quick dismount, man. I'll drop this link. The Legend of the Dragon Fruit. Also dropped to us by the family Eye of a Dragon, man. So get this dragon fruit because this is going to connect with major work. I mean, obviously, we can do 10 different drops on everything we drop in the Prester John series. I'm just putting it all in the Prester John series. So everything I would normally drop separately, I could have dropped all this separately. I could have did a whole drop on dragon fruit. I'm just dropping links because we got to go. We got to go. I'm about to make a dismount at Prester John 50. Be out of YouTube. I'm done with YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be right back, man. The only place you're going to be able to find me is right here on the site. The only place you're going to be finding how we digging and ciphering in real time. Dropping that Wyclef John in 432. We'll be coming right here out of our own live player. And that's what we're doing right now, 5 days a week from 10 to 2, man. So you dig on that, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely get this joint from Chris Battle, man. The Battle family's out there, man, doing their thing, man, searching, being, explorers in real time, man. Looking for that repeatable and observable science, man, in real time. And I love it, man. I love every bit of the flow that's coming from this, this family, man. It's just one unit that we get to watch, witness, know what's going on.
All right,
this is Big Chris Battle.
William Grandstaff Trail. Me and Kai. This is on the trail maps. Still says Negro Bill Trail. At the trailhead off the highway, it's called Grandstaff Trailhead for William Grandstaff, who was a half African, half indigenous melanated man who was one of the first settlers of Moab. He lived here in the late 1800s, moved here from Alabama, and made a name and a life for himself until an uprising of natives caused him to abandon his home, his 40 head of cattle, and his business, ice business, that he'd established here, and moved to Colorado. Heading down to the Natural Bridge Archway on Negro Bill Trail in Moab, Utah.
Big Chris battle, man. Guardians on the wall. I'm trying to tell you, man. So dig on that drop right here, man. Chris battle. Go click on it. There's also some wonderful drop. Yeah, I had it over here in the drop of the week, man. But I've been meaning, man, you know, your Haunted Hebrew Prince, man, been dropping amazing. Just drop after drop. The bro